Short review today on the Native Jeffersons. So these are kind of a slip-on shoe. I would say they're somewhat comparable, though maybe not directly, to something like an UGG. Not an UGG, sorry, Crocs. I wouldn't wear these day to day, but I bought these specifically because I was looking for a shoe for taking the dog out to use the restroom, going on short dog walks around the neighborhood, and just something I could slip on at the campsite, and just something to serve as kind of a slipper during the summer. During the winter, I have these North Face thermal balls, which I really like, but I've had these a couple of years and they're starting to fall apart, and they're also just a little bit too warm during the summer months, and my feet end up sweating. But they're great during the winter, and I would highly recommend these North Face thermal balls. I'll put a link to these in the description, and I'll probably do a review on these at some point. Now that I have all these shoes out here, I realize that I could be doing more shoe reviews, and I don't know why I'm starting with this, but I'm starting with this. I'm going to specifically cover how this worked out for me as someone with white feet. I wouldn't have considered myself someone that was had white feet up until just, I guess, a couple years ago. Growing up, I bought shoes normally. I didn't do anything special, but as I made the transition to barefoot shoes, and when I say barefoot, I mean things like this, where there's minimal support. I'm not talking about those shoes that have like the toes. I'm not into those. I'm not into those toes shoes. But anyway, so I wear shoes now with kind of minimal support and also a pretty wide base. And since I've been doing that, I've been doing it consistently now about 4 years. About 4 years now. And since I've done that, my foot has actually widened out a bit. So I can't wear a lot of like my older Nikes and other shoes I would wear before I made that transition. Whenever I do that, I kind of get nerve pain, and it just isn't comfortable. So since doing that, I still wear my Converse, but I do have issues with narrow shoes now. So getting back to the Jeffersons. The good things are I kind of like the way it looks, especially compared to Crocs. The reason I won't, these are not mine, these are my girlfriend's, but the reason I went with these was I was looking for something that looked a little bit more normal that I could wear around the campsite and stuff like that, and didn't look as dorky as, let's say, Crocs. Though it's hard to argue that these are not somewhat dorky looking. I think they're a little bit more subtle, at least in the design. They look a little bit more like a normal sneaker. So I do like that about these. I don't know if I remember, these are Native Jefferson, specifically the Jefferson model of Natives. They're also very easy to clean. I sprayed them down with the water hose and they dried up really fast. They don't absorb water. Surprisingly, I've also worn these out in pretty heavy rain, and my foot doesn't really get wet. So they're really breathable, and somehow not too much water actually gets through these holes. I wouldn't wear them like walking through puddles or splashing through deep water, but they keep rain out fairly well on short walks. So those are the positives for that. It was also nice dealing with the company. I ordered size 9 originally. I wear size 9 in most of my shoes. Sometimes I go up to 9.5. So I ordered a size 9 from them. They were too small, so I returned them. That process was fairly painless. And I ordered these size 10. And these are the only size 10 shoes I have out of probably 20 pairs of shoes. So I did that too, also based on advice from people saying you should size up if you're wide-footed. And I did that after I ordered the size 9, or I seen that after I ordered the size 9. So I thought I'd be okay with these. I've tried them out now about for 2 months for the things like I described. I've taken them camping, I walk the dog. I wear these outside and just around the neighborhood. I don't really wear these out, like going to a store or work or things like that. And the problem I found is they're just not wide enough. Even with the size 10, which is much larger than all my other shoes and has a ton of room in the toe, it's just still too narrow, and it actually causes me some nerve pain when walking. So I notice when I'm walking, kind of those bones that run up kind of parallel in your foot, I kind of feel like the bones are kind of rubbing or sitting on top of each other instead of being next to each other when I wear these. And after about 20 minutes, I actually start getting like a weird nerve pain, and that pain will last throughout the day, even after I take the shoes off. So while I do like the shoes, they're not for people with white feet, unless you're going to go multiple sizes up, and at that point you're going to be looking like you're wearing clown shoes. So unfortunately, while I do like them, I won't be returning these just because I've worn them so much. I will recommend these to people with normal feet or narrow feet, but I'm going to say if you have a wide foot, you're going to want to pass on these. And I've actually made the switch to Crocs. So I'm wearing Crocs now around the house and during the summer to take the dog walking and things like that. For winter shoes, still, I don't think you can really beat the Thermoball slippers by North Face. These are about $60 and they keep your feet really warm. They also keep your feet dry. They're comfortable and they work. They're so flexible that they work fine with for people that have wide feet. So I would recommend these. I'll put links to all the various shoes that I mentioned here today. But just want to give some quick thoughts. I was Googling, looking up on YouTube, hoping to find somebody that had white feet that were reviewing these before I purchased them. I couldn't find anything, so that's why I'm creating this video. So hope everyone's having a good early fall, and I'll see you out there.